Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
And we are live. Another week, another 2 movies coming
live.
We are live. We are live.
Yes, we are. Some of us more so than others. Since I'm currently in the middle of a freaking tornado. Or hurricane, or whatever. I think it's tornado down here in Texas. So, fun.
Is it big? If it's big, that's what it is.
Everything's bigger down here.
That's right.
I'm Scott. I'm in Texas. That's Joey in Jersey.
Annie Hall. We have Annie Hall on the show tonight.
What?
Annie Hall. I'm referring to your hat.
Oh no! This is my. I am a farmer. I'm a simple farmer. This is my simple
well, it's perfect for women talking.
Exactly, that's why I'm wearing it.
Just don't pillage the fields and rape the women.
Trim the hedges of many small villages.
I always like Corsican brothers. We rape the fields and pillage the women.
You know, Corsican brothers, I watched when I was way too young to watch it.
I watched it, yeah.
And I have not watched it since.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that might be an interesting one to go back to. But anyway, this is Moviesucktastic, and we're still reviewing we're still reviewing Oscar nominees for Best Picture.
Yes,
and
we are.
Today, as Joey mentioned, we are doing Women Talking.
Listen.
It's a powerful movie.
I found it fucking boring.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No.
Listen. I get the point that they're bringing across. It's an important one. I don't disagree with that. But holy shit, I was just bored to death.
Right. So this isn't really an action film. This is definitely
no.
This is a Lifetime movie.
I mean, it's based on true events. I think that's the terminology.
Yes, well, yeah. The movie is an adaptation of the fictional novel, but the novel was based on true story that took place in a Mennonite village in Bolivia, Manitoba, I believe, where they were drugging and raping women and girls
with cow tranquilizer.
I'm not sure if the same thing, but yeah, they were definitthey doing that.
Well, in this film, it's cow tranquilizer.
Right,
that's how they're doing it.
Yeah, so in the original thing, they were eventually brought to justice. Although reports later said that reports later said that that didn't stop it. That just got rid of some of the people doing it.
Yeah.
So it was a great true life event for the author to take and use as a springboard, if you will, for talking about the serious problem of matriarchal situations. It's about power. It's all about power, obviously.
Of course. And
yeah.
And like I said, I'm not asked. Listen, it bored me to death. It did.
And I understand. I'm going to explain why you were bored to death in a way that makes you sound like you're not a jerk.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Stop. What?
No, I'm saying I'm going to back you up on it.
I don't think I need that, but go ahead.
And I personally, the first half of the film, I was very bored. Like you were, but
I do agree that the second half is better than the first half.
Second half kind of picks up, and picks up.
Although I was hoping that August was involved in some way. I'm like, come on, just don't bore me anymore. Like
August. I mean, that's where I actually probably cried the most about at the end over
his performance was very good.
Because
you could feel yes, his character is very good, but his performance, you could feel the abandonment and the loneliness that he is actually going to endure because of their decision, and you feel for him, you really do, because of their beliefs and their religion and society that they've chosen to live. Once they make this decision, it is final.
Right. So to explain the decision part, for anybody who's walked into this blind, which is stupid, you shouldn't watch a review episode if you haven't seen it. I apologize. I don't mean to call you stupid, but
wow.
Think
and
better
he's
next
trying to defend me.
So the whole film takes place over the course of 2 days with a lot of flashbacks and stuff, and it's all about these Mennonite women who have slowly come to realize that these strange bruises and bleeding and pregnancies aren't actually
the work
God
of the devil
or ghosts or anything or the devil, but actually their husbands and other guys just drugging them and raping them at night.
Yeah.
Now, I don't. Did they ever really? I mean, I'm a little foggy. I don't think they ever really get into any rules of their religion that says like they can't have sex or something at all or anything.
They don't go into that. No.
Right. So,
I don't know this obviously, but I would imagine because of the way they treat the situation, you probably can't just have consensual sex. You probably have to be married. They probably have that rule.
Right.
I don't know.
But the husbands were drugging and raping their wives too. That's what I'm not getting at.
That's
Weren't
what
they?
That's.
Or were they raping other people's wives?
They were raping everybody. It's just like
just a whole lot of raping going on.
Yeah. So and because they have that one part in the film where they talk about can the male children come with them, and they put an age. They put an age group on that. It's like if you're this age and under, you can come. Or under this age, you can come, and if you're over this age, you can't. And they say it in such a way. They ask August, can a 12-year-old, or a 13-year-old, can they come? And he initially.
No. The question was, is a 12 or 13-year-old boy capable of harming the girls?
Right.
And he didn't even
bat an eye.
He just took a second to gather himself.
Yes.
Before he's like, yes. And then goes on to explain fully well why a 12-year-old should be very fucking left behind.
And
they end up upping that to 15.
Yeah.
But they say they won't force anybody under 12, anybody over 12 to come with them if they don't want to go.
Exactly.
But if you're over 15, we don't want you.
No. Because they're also being taught by the older men what they're doing, so they're being taught how to be that way.
We jumped over a bit.
We did
about the decision because we're
talking about the parts that didn't bore me. That's what I like to call it.
All right, but we skipped over the whole decision part. So the whole thing is, they finally caught a couple of the guys doing it,
right?
And they're taking off. But then all the men of the community are like, well, we're going to go bail the guys out and probably get some hookers while we're gone. Back in a couple days.
But they're also Mennonite. Now, the one thing I do know the difference between Mennonite and Amish is Mennonites. They're allowed to have some modern technology.
This is a very, I guess, what's that word? Orthodox, maybe along those lines. It's a very extreme interpretation. Yeah.
So, like Amish, they're not allowed to have electricity or any kind of modern technology or any of that stuff.
Now,
one of the things.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'll catch you on what you were saying. We won't forget it. One of the things that I did read is that Amish families who have children that become Mennonite, they're allowed to have things like electricity, and like if you notice, there's a scene where they're in the kitchen. They have a refrigerator, they have lighting, they have all of those things. But that's kind of like where it stops. From what I understand, Amish families who have children that are Mennonite, Amish are allowed to go over and enjoy all the amenities, but then they have to go home.
They let him into the wild and say, "Here, see if you want this. We're not going to hold you prisoner. You got to make your choice."
No, that's different. That's different. The Amish do that. I forget what that is, but they're allowed to go out into the world for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And this is different.
What's different about what you're talking about?
Because Amish family, if their children are Mennonite, the actual Amish family, like Grandpa Ezekiel can come over and watch the baseball game, but then he's got to go home. He can't stick around.
Okay, I'm gonna ring the bell on this because I think we're getting too much into the weeds on Mennonite.
I'm just getting into the type of religion that they have, some of the beliefs are. The fact that they can have some modern technology. I was just getting into that. That's all.
No, I understand. I just feel like we're straying. That's all.
Okay.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. So now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the first time we realize what year it is when they hear the Monkees music coming from the census truck? Is that the first time we actually realize that we're in 2010?
I did a little reading on it. I knew it was like close to present day, or it wasn't like 1936. I kind of knew that, but I guess for someone watching the film, that's probably your first notion of it not being times past. Because
I want everybody that's been giving the Village shit for all these years to shut up, back it up a bit, and understand why that's done. Right. Yeah. So the fact that the reason that the author of the book chose this story is because this whole Mennonite situation really helps the whole set out the tableau of the whole idea of the isolation of a woman in a patriarchy being abused in this manner. And when you're even isolated from society, and I know there's a lot of different ways you can take this film, but I really took this film right out at the base level of an abusive relationship. Like, this film is the perfect metaphor for the battered wife syndrome.
Oh yeah.
And the perfect example of like trying to figure out what to do, because that thing we skipped over was like after the men go out of town, the women get together and say, okay, we have to figure out what to do because this ain't standing anymore. Yeah. We know what's happening. They're pretty much come flat out and said it's going to keep happening, and it can't happen. So they say we have three choices: just leave everything as it is, fight,
or leave.
Everything from kill them to confront them with this and demand that they make changes, or leave.
Yep.
And that's really what any battered wife has, or battered spouse. Let me say, because there are battered men.
They also go. They also go through in that scenario that they're bringing that up, that most of the women can't read or write, so their quote unquote voting system is three pictures of leave it alone, fight, or stay. Or I'm sorry, stay and leave it alone, fight, or leave. So they draw X's in the column of what they want to do, and they're at a tie between staying and fighting.
So the whole film's a debate about whether they should even do anything, or Scarface and she takes her kids away. She's in the strictly stay category. You do have some of them that stay,
right?
a few, but even that whole idea of like that the women aren't even allowed to learn how to read in this community. There's an extra layer of isolation there. Just like think of that from the abused spouses situation where don't have an education. The other spouse has been taking care of everything. We'll just say men. We'll just assume it's a battered woman because of the film. Forget being fair. And so the husband has like all the money, and then what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You can't go anywhere. You're going to get a job. All that. And that's really there too. The film really encapsulates everything that's wrong in that kind of toxic relationship. You even have there's two men there. I love the fact that you never see any men's faces. It's right out of the Women classic film. This film is almost like a what's the spiritual sequel to the Women, I think.
Shit. I know
what.
You want me to figure out the name of the other film you're talking about?
No, the other.
You're saying this film is a spiritual sequel to the Women.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. I thought you were saying there was another film.
No. I was saying this feels like a spiritual sequel to the Women.
You don't see any of the men's faces. The closest thing you get is when the one woman that is really pushing to just let's just forget about anything happen. She goes home, and you see her husband let her in the door, and then you see from a distance him close the door. That's as close as you get. And then, the next day,
shot of all the men with their heads hidden.
Yeah.
I'm like hidden in shame. I'm assuming. I'm not sure how much I was supposed to read into that, but yeah, just like the original that film, the black and white film, The Women. There are no men in the film except, in this case, there are two men. We have what's his face? I'm trying to bring up the names because I forgot.
August.
I'm horrible with names.
August.
Yeah, August, and then there's what's his name? The trans Melvin, the trans character.
Yep.
That was August.
No, August is the one that keeps the minutes and is in love with Rooney Mara's character.
The name of the August Winter played Melvin. That's where I got mixed up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So August and Melvin are the two male characters in the film, but they're I guess you'd call them sympathetic male characters, or like they're abnormal males. You could say except unlike they're like the only ones that are willing to that recognize what's happening and don't like it.
And
aren't,
Melvin doesn't speak
only
until
the children.
Right, and then he does speak later, just one or two lines, and that's it. But it's one of those scenes where it's like it's going to happen at some point. There's some foreshadowing to that because they're like, come on, just for once, speak. As soon as she said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening.
Yeah,
it's like there's no secret that it's going to happen.
Yeah, an easy setup. Yeah. It's an important film. I think it really is. Even though I wouldn't have. I'll be honest. If we weren't reviewing it, I wouldn't have watched it.
Same.
But part of that is because I'm really on board. I'm on team fuck the guys. I really toxic relationship. What's the other explanation for just being randomly raped? I don't.
Well,
yeah. Oh, by the way, in the true story, another difference is in the real version, it wasn't just women and girls.
Oh God, it was the boys too, the children
and men. They were just fucking. They were just raping. They were just knocking them all out. It was just fucking. It was just a fucking glory for the Lord. So this film actually even makes it more. It really just kind of simplifies it towards one message.
Right.
All right, and it's because and I'm assuming that some people might take it as an anti-religious film, but unless your religion is pro sleep rape, I don't think that's it.
I don't know. Well, I know Sarah Polley. She is an atheist. Everything that I read about her says that. So I guess that's why they're pushing that agenda. Because an atheist directed this film.
Honestly, I don't know if anybody's saying that. I'm just saying if that comes out.
Okay.
No. I'm not. No, I have no specific examples. I just this is one of those films you watch. Go, all right, this is going to piss somebody off, but I don't know if it's going to be enough that anybody hears it.
Yeah.
It's just this film should be required watching for every fucking alpha dude bro out there. Andrew Tate fans, anybody, they need to fucking watch this film in a quiet room and just reflect for an hour.
He just made an Andrew Tate reference.
I didn't even know who the fuck he was until like they were arresting him and shit. I was like, what? Really? I don't.
I got to be honest. Same here. I didn't know who the fuck he was.
I'm not a fucking like teenage incel on the fucking internet 24 hours a day. I got a life.
Yeah.
This shit.
Listen, as much as I will respect the film, know that it's important, it bored the living shit out of me. It really did.
If you're not really engaged, and like I said, up until it picked up emotionally, I guess in the second or third, maybe in the second half of the second act, I was a little bored too. I was like, yeah, but because again, I know all the arguments. I know all the arguments they're going to make. They're going to bring them up, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the right side of all of those. All my sides involve no rape.
Well, and you know what, too? I think if this is either the shortest film or like the second shortest film, and it felt way longer than an hour and 44 minutes. I think the credits roll at an hour and 37.
I do remember looking and going, oh, the shortest film of this Oscar season, let's go. And then like, oh. But I did cry. I mean, it's an impacting film. It really is. The great performances. You want to walk us through what it's nominated for?
I didn't cry. I'm just gonna
you don't have to.
Not that I'm trying to be an alpha or anything.
Dude, I cry at coffee commercials now. I'm fucked.
Wow.
I turned 50 this year. I don't have any like testosterone left in me.
Well, I know it's nominated for 7 Academy Awards, and I'm gonna have to.
I can give it to you. I have my list right here. Hang on.
You got them?
Bring it up.
All right.
Hold on. Oh man, don't fuck with me.
I think
Where'd it go? I had it.
I mean, a film like this, does it have a cinematography? Although everything in the film was muted, and it was that was done on purpose. If you notice, even when they're when they're looking at something beautiful like the night sky, it's surrounded by, the house, which is not lit because it's at night, and even though they have modern technology, they don't really use it. They're not crazy about using it. But it's like, even with a beautiful night sky, it's like it's filtered, it's muted, it's dark, it's grays, blacks and grays, and some very like light blues, not even like light blues, like a grayish blue.
I also feel like it's a nice metaphor for how living this kind of life, this kind of relationship,
exactly,
sucks the joy out of life. They're in this beautiful landscape, and it's practically gray.
No, exactly. That's exactly how I took it. I took it that it was chosen to film it that way for that very reason. That even though you're surrounded by beauty, it just, like, even during the day, like the day shots, it just looked very pale and muted. So, and obviously I knew it was done like that on purpose to convey that message. All right, so let's see.
By the way, I was gonna make the thumbnail for our YouTube version of the show. I was gonna put a quote at the bottom. Whole lot of raping going on.
Oh, Jesus.
But I think YouTube's like iffy on the whole rape thing.
Yeah, they're not gonna...
I don't think I'm gonna put like it in words anywhere.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So there's only 2 nominations for Women Talking.
Isn't there 7?
Obviously.
Is there
Best Picture and Best Adapted Screenplay?
Oh no, that's 7 for Fabelmans. Got it.
Yeah, that.
Adapted Screenplay, which Sarah Polley is nominated for because she wrote the screenplay. Right. So, all right, so let's look at Adapted Screenplay. Got All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Oh, shit. Dude, this is between All Quiet and Women Talking. And you know what?
No, All Quiet is not in the running.
What? Okay, so what is in the running against Women Talking then?
I personally feel that All Quiet Western Front is not in the running because I feel he marred the true theme of the episode.
Oh, that's just
your
preference.
Watch that episode, listen to that episode if you want to know
more. That's
more.
just your personal preference. All right, so I'm not going to...
No, it's my critical analysis. Thank you, sir.
And I think you're wrong.
And Glass Onion and Top Gun don't count because they're not fucking adapted. They're sequels. Fuck you, Academy. So that leaves between Living and Women and Talking, and Living's the only film I haven't seen.
Okay. So you're entitled to your opinion, even though you say that people are not.
Don't say that. That's
All Quiet on the Western Front. It's between All Quiet on the Western Front, whether you like it or not, and women talking. And I don't like it. I know you don't. And I'll tell you right now, there is no way that they're going to not give a film about strong women or women that are trying to become strong with a female director. This is winning Best Adapted Screenplay. I guarantee it. I don't see. We both got to the same conclusion, but with totally different. And I think, by the way, that yours is completely flawed. But we both agree. So that's a moot point. Well, there you go. We both agree. It doesn't matter how we got there. It's just that we took that journey together.
Yes, and we both agree it's not winning Best Picture.
Fuck no.
No, it's not.
Too boring.
Got too much good films up against it. If it does, I'm not going to be upset.
I won't be upset.
No,
I think the only thing I would be upset about winning Best Picture on this list is Avatar. If Avatar walked away with Best Picture, I would be like, what the actual fuck?
The two films we have not reviewed yet are the two films that I will walk away if they win. So next week's going to be interesting.
And that is, what are the last two? It's Avatar, and it's...
Meet the Fabelmans.
The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
Because this week we're doing Triangle of Sadness and this film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why?
No, I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. All right. And what are we rating this puppy? Right now on IMDb, it's going at a strong 7.0.
7.0?
Pardon me. Ooh, yes, 7.0.
I mean, I'm fine with a 7. If you want to go higher, just convince me.
I might take some heat for this, but I'm going to say 7 with you.
Okay. I just wish.
I can recognize the film's importance and craft without thinking it's like fucking awesome. So yeah, 7.
All right, perfect. All right, this is good. I like this. We're actually doing a good job, and we're going to end the show right now.
Oh, wow.
We're on a roll. 30 minutes. 30 minutes in. Or slightly less, actually. It's like 27 minutes, 28 minutes. All right. Let's do it. I love it. Phoebe girl, can I help you? All right, everybody. As always, thank you for joining us for episode 390 of Moviesucktastic. You can go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download or listen to the show there. Go to iTunes, and you can do it that way as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic, and you can see everything that we're posting there. If you want to leave us email, it's themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, it's 908-514-4470. If you want, just do a search for Moviesucktastic online on your favorite search engine. We come up everywhere. You can download the podcast app that we have at Moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk, or just go and download your favorite podcast player, whether you have Android, Apple, doesn't matter. Just do a search for us in your podcast app, and we come right up. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Fellas, what's with all the raping?
All right, everybody. We will talk to you next time when we review Triangle of Sadness.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay.